In Hinduism, Khatushyam is a name and manifestation of Barbarika, son of Ghatotkacha. This manifestation is especially popular in the Indian state of Rajasthan, Haryana. The original Sanskrit name Barbarika is often replaced in Rajasthan by the Hindi version, Barbarīka, often written as Barbareek. Barbarika had obtained a boon from Krishna to the effect that he would be known by Krishna's own name in the Kaliyuga era and worshipped. Krishna had declared that Barbarika's devotees would be blessed just by pronouncing his name from the bottom of their hearts. Their wishes would be granted and troubles removed if they worship Shyamji with a true piety. Jai Shri Shyam. Legend. The legend begins with the Mahabharata. Barbarika alias Khatushyam alias Shyam Barbar was a grandson of Bhima, second of the Pandava brothers. He was the son of Ghatotkacha and Kamkankata Marmori. Even in his childhood, Barbarika was a very brave warrior. He learned the art of warfare from his mother. God Shiva, pleased with him, gave him the 3 infallible arrows. Hence, Barbarika came to be known by the appellation Teen Bandari, the bearer of 3 arrows. Later, Agni gave him the bow that would make him victorious in the 3 worlds. When Barbarika got to know that battle between the Pandavas and the Kauravas had become inevitable, he wanted to witness what was to be the Mahabharata war. He promised his mother that if he felt the urge to participate in the battle, he would join the side which would be losing. He rode to the field on his blue horse equipped with his 3 arrows and bow. Krishna tests Barbarika. Krishna disguised as a Brahmin and stopped Barbarika to examine his strength. He baited Barbarika by mocking him for going to the great battle with only 3 arrows. On this, Barbarika replied that a single arrow was enough to destroy all his opponents in the war, and it would then return to his quiver. He stated that, the first arrow is used to mark all the things that he wants to destroy. On releasing the 3rd arrow, it would destroy all the things that are marked and will then return to his quiver. If he uses the 2nd arrow, then the 2nd arrow will mark all the things that he wants to save. On using the 3rd arrow, it will destroy all the things that are not marked. In other words, with 1 arrow he can fix all his targets and with the other he can destroy them. Barbarika's phenomenal power, Krishna then challenges him to tie all the leaves of the peepal tree under which he was standing with these arrows. Barbarika accepts the challenge and starts meditating to release his arrow by closing his eyes. Then, Krishna, without the knowledge of Barbarika, plucks one of the leaf of the tree and puts it under his foot. When Barbareek releases his first arrow, it marks all the leaves of the tree and finally starts revolving around the leg of Krishna. For this Krishna asks Barbarika, as why was the arrow revolving around his foot? For this, Barbareek replies that there must be a leaf under his foot and the arrow was targeting his foot to mark the leaf that is hidden under him. Barbarika advises Krishna to lift his leg, since, otherwise the arrow will mark the leaf by pricking Krishna's leg. Thus, Krishna lifts his foot and to his surprise, finds that the first arrow also marks the leaf that was hidden under his foot. Of course, the 3rd arrow does collect all the leaves and ties them together. By this Krishna concludes that the arrows are so infallible, that even if Barbarika is not aware of his targets, the arrows are so powerful that they can still navigate and trace all his intended targets. The moral of this incident is that, in a real battlefield, if Krishna wants to isolate someone and hides them elsewhere in order to avoid them from being Barbarika's victim, then Krishna will not be successful as the arrows after destroying the whole army, can trace the hidden targets also and destroy them. So, nobody will be able to escape from these arrows. Thus Krishna gets a deeper insight about Barbarika's phenomenal power. The consequence of Barbarika's word to his mother, Krishna then asks the boy whom he would favor in the war. Barbarika reveals that he intends to fight for the side whichever is weak. As Pandavas have only 7 axes in the army, when compared to Kauravas 11, he considers that Pandavas are weak and hence wants to support them so that Pandavas will become victorious. But Krishna asks him, did he seriously give a thought about the consequences before giving such a word to his mother? Barbarika guesses that his support to the weaker side will make them victorious. Then, Krishna reveals the actual consequence of his word to his mother. Krishna tells that, According to the strategy of Kauravas, not the entire 11 Akshani army will be used to wage a war on the first day. Hence, the part of Kaurava's army that comes before Pandavas on the first day, will be completely destroyed by Barbareek. But, that part of Kaurava's army that does not come before Pandavas on the first day will become weak. This will force Barbareek to support Kauravas and fight against Pandavas. Now, Barbareek will destroy that part of Pandava's army that comes before Kauravas. The remaining part of Pandava's army that does not come before Barbareek will now become very weak. Thus, whichever side he supports will only make the other side weak due to his phenomenal power, and nobody will be able to defeat him. Thus, in an actual war, he will keep oscillating between the two sides, thereby destroying the entire army of both sides, and eventually only he will remain. Subsequently, none of the side is victorious, as he will be the only lone survivor. Hence, Krishna avoids his participation from the war by seeking his head in charity. The other interpretation of 3 arrows equals, the 3 arrows are signs of 3 torps that humans experience. These include the physical, mental and emotional conflicts and confusions that are found almost everywhere. These 3 torps are cleared with chanting of name of Krishna. Thus, giving Barbarika the name Shyam, the Lord intended to remove the 3 torps of human-like, symbolized with the 3 arrows. Active charity . The guised Krishna then sought charity from Barbarika. Barbarika promised him anything he wished. Krishna asked him to give his head in charity. Barbarika was shocked. Perceiving that all was not as it appeared, he requested the Brahmin to disclose his real identity. Krishna showed Barbarika a vision of his divine form, and Barbarika was thus graced. Krishna then explained to him that before a battle, the head of the bravest kshatriya needs to be sacrificed, in order to sanctify the battlefield. Krishna said that he considered Barbarika to be the bravest among kshatriyas, and was hence asking for his head in charity. In fulfillment of his promise, and in compliance with the Krishna's command, Barbarika gave his head to him in charity. This happened on the 12th day of the Shukla Paksha of the month of Phalgun on Tuesday. Why Lord Krishna asks for Barbareek's head? This was because Lord Krishna knew that if Lord Barbareek participates in the war with the weaker side, then he will keep on switching sides, as the other side will become weak because of his boons. Then, only he will be alive at the end of the war, with both Pandavas and Kauravas will die due to his constant switching of sides. Bearing witness to the war . Before decapitating himself, Barbarika told Krishna of his great desire to view the forthcoming battle and requested him to facilitate the same. Krishna agreed and placed the head on top of a hill overlooking the battlefield. From the hill, the head of Barbarika watched the entire battle. At the end of the battle, the victorious Pandava brothers argued amongst themselves as to who was responsible for their victory. Krishna suggested that Barbarika's head, which had watched the whole battle, should be allowed to judge. Barbarika's head suggested that it was Krishna alone who was responsible for the victory. His advice, his presence, his game plan had been very crucial. Other names: Barbarika. Khatushyam's childhood name was Barbarika. His mother and relatives used to call him by this name before the name Shyam was given by Krishna. Morvinandan. Barbarika was the son of Mother Mavi, and Nandan means son, so he is called Morvinandan. Shishkadani, literally donor of head. As per the legend related above. Hakasahara, literally support of the defeated. Upon his mother's advice, Barbarika resolved to support whoever has less power and is losing. Hence he is known by this name. Timbandari, literally bearer of 3 arrows. References to the 3 infallible arrows that he received as boon from God Shiva. These arrows were sufficient to destroy the whole world. The title written below these 3 arrows is Mayam Savyam Parajita. Lokhadatari, literally the munificent giver. One who never hesitates to give his devotees whatever they need and ask for. Leelak or Swar, literally rider of Leela. Being the name of his blue-colored horse. Many call it Neelagoda or blue horse. Ketu Naresh, literally the king of Ketu. One who rules Ketu and the whole universe. Kaliyuga, literally the god of Kaliyuga. As per Krishna, he will be the god who will save good people in the era of Kaliyuga. Shyamji, literally the god who love all and all love to him, the spiritual relation between Bhakt and Bhagwan called Nishkam Fire Prem, by Ladev, literally Dev with superpower. Newly born children are blessed in the temple located in Vasna, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. AANAA currency, a currency unregistered trademark, a yen euro AAAA currency, literally AAANAAANAA currency, a yen AA currency, a currency, a yen, a currency, a currency, a yen euro AAAN euro, a currency unregistered trademark, a yen euro AA currency, a JAI Sri Shyam Baba, DJ. Temple. After the Mahabharata battle, Barbarika's head was drowned in the river named Rupawati by Lord Krishna, giving lots of blessings. After many years, when Kaliyuga started, the head was found buried in the village of Khatushyam in present-day Rajasthan. The location was obscure until well after the Kaliyuga period began. Then, on one occasion, milk started flowing spontaneously out of a cow's udder when she neared the burial spot. Amazed at this incident, the local villagers dug the place up and the buried head was revealed. The head was handed over to a Brahmin who worshipped it for many days, awaiting divine revelations as to what was to be done next. Rup Singh Chauhan, king of Khatushyam, then had a dream where he was inspired to build a temple and install the head therein. Subsequently, a temple was built and the idol was installed on the 11th day of the Shukla Paksha of the month of Phalgun. There is another, only slightly different version of this legend. Rup Singh Chauhan was the ruler of Khatushyam. His wife, Narmada Kanwar, once had a dream in which the deity instructed her to take his image out of the earth. The indicated place was then dug up. Sure enough, it yielded the idol, which was duly enshrined in the temple. The original temple was built in 1027 AD by Rup Singh Chauhan, after his wife Narmada Kanwar saw dream about the buried idol. The place where the idol was dug out from is called Shyamkund. In 1720 AD, a nobleman known as Diwan of Hazing renovated the old temple, at the behest of the then ruler of Marwar. The temple took its present shape at this time when the idol was enshrined in the Sanctum Sanctorum. The idol is made of rare stone. Khatushyam is the family deity of a large number of families. His another temple is located at Vasna, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, where people are coming with their newly born child to have blessings of Khatushyam. Here he is known as Baladev. Architectural features. The temple is architecturally rich. Lime mortar, marble and tiles have been used in constructing the structure. The shutters of the Sanctum Sanctorum are beautifully covered with silver sheet. Outside is the prayer hall, named Jagmohan. The hall is large in size and its walls are elaborately painted, depicting mythological scenes. The entrance gate and exit gate are made of marble. Their brackets are also of marble and feature ornamental floral designs. Precincts. There is an open space in front of the entrance gate of the temple. The Shyam Bagicha is a garden near the temple from where flowers are picked to be offered to the deity. The Samadhi of Alu Singh, a great devotee, is located within the garden. The Gopinath temple lies to the southeast of the main temple. The Gauri Shankar temple also lies nearby. There is an interesting tale associated with the Gauri Shankar temple. It is said that some soldiers of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb wanted to destroy this temple. They attacked the Shiva Lingam enshrined within this temple with their spears. Immediately, fountains of blood appeared from the Shiva Lingam. The soldiers ran away, terrified. One can still see the mark of the spear on the lingam. Khatushyam main temple is located at Khatushyam town about 80 km from Jaipur. Devotees are requested to take route via Ringas. Observances and festivals. Barbarika is worshipped as Shyam, being Krishna himself. Therefore, the flavor of the festivities reflects the playful and vibrant nature of Krishna. The festivals of Krishna Janmashtami, Julani Ekadashi, Holi and Vasant Panchami are celebrated with gusto in the temple. The Phalguna Mela detailed below is the principal annual festival. Hundreds of devotees visit the temple every day. newly married couples come to pay homage and newborn babies are brought to the temple for their mundane ceremony. An elaborate arti is performed at the temple 5 times a day. These are, Mangala Arti, performed in the early morning, when temple is open. Shringar Arti, performed at the time of makeup of Shyam. The idol is grandly ornamented for this arti. Pog Arti, performed at noon when Pog is served to the Lord. Sandal Arti, performed in the evening, at sunset. Siana Arti, performed in the night, when temple is closed. 2 special hymns, the Shri Shyam Arti, and the Shri Shyam Vinati, are chanted on all these occasions. The Shyam mantra is another litany of the Lord's names that is chanted by devotees. Other particular observances include, Shukla Ekadashi and Dwadashi, the 11th and 12th days of the bright half of every month in the Hindu calendar is of special significance to the temple. This is because Barbarika was born on the 11th day of the bright half of the month of Kartika, and he donated his head to Krishna on the 12th day of the bright half of the month of Phalgun on Tuesday. Darshan on these 2 days is therefore considered auspicious and devotees come in their thousands every month. The temple remains open throughout the night that falls between these days. Night-long bhajan sessions are organized since devotees traditionally pass the night in singing the praises of the Lord. Devotees organize bhajan programs and invite bhajan singers to sing devotional songs. Bathing in the Shyam Kund, this is the holy pond near the temple from which the idol was retrieved. It is believed that a dip in this pond cures a person from ailments and brings good health. Filled with devotional fervor, people take ritual dips in the Shyam Kund. They believe that this will relieve them of diseases and contagion. Bathing during the annual Phalguna Mela festival is deemed specially salutary. Nishan Yatra, it is believed that your wishes are granted if you offer a nishan at the temple. A nishan is a triangular flag of a particular size, made of cloth, which is hoisted on a bamboo stick. It is carried in one's hands while covering the route from the town of Ringas to Kerchu on foot. Nishans are offered in millions during the Phalguna Mela. Phalguna Mela, the most important festival associated with the temple is the Phalguna Mela, which occurs just 8 to 9 days before from the festival of Holi. Barbarika's head appeared on Phalguna Shuddha Ekadashi, the 11th day of the bright half of the Hindu month of Phalguna. Therefore, the fair is held from the 9th to the 12th of that month. The fair has now been extended to nearly 15 days of the bright half of the Phalguna month. According to district administration reports, about 5 to 10 million devotees visit the temple during these 4 days from all corners of the country. However, unconfirmed reports from the CCTV footage of temple indicates that the actual number of devotees could be more than 50 million. There is virtually no vacant space in the town during this period. There is celebration and festivity in the moods of the devotees who wait for hours in long serpentine queues for a moment's glance of the deity. The whole town, along with the temple, is illuminated. Singers from all over the country come here to perform bhajans on this holy occasion. Special arrangements are made for feeding the devotees in almost all the dharamshalas and rest houses. Special trains and buses operate during the Mela. The government of Rajasthan takes care of the law and order during the fair. According to a report, over 20,000 police personnel under supervision of 18 superintendents were deployed for the Phalgun Mela 2010. Administration and amenities: the public trust that has charge of the temple is registered under registration number 3/86. A 7-member committee oversees the management of the temple. A number of dharmashalas are available for their comfortable stay. The temple timings are as follows: in winter, 5:30 am, 1:00 pm and 4:00 pm, 9:00 pm. In summer, 4:30 am, 12:30 pm and 4:00 pm, 10:00 pm. The temple is open 24 hours a day on every Shukla Paksha Ekadasi, that is, on the 11th day of the bright half of every month in the Hindu calendar. The temple is also open throughout the 4-day Phalgun Mela. References. External links: Khatushyam Temple, Khatushyamji on Facebook, Khatushyam Temple, Khatushyamji Bhajans.